Good morning and welcome, dear students. Now, in the last video lesson, we did word problems in multiplication, and we also solved the sums, that is 2 digit by 2 digit, 3 digit by 1 digit, and now we have 3 digit by 2 digit multiplication. We are going to multiply 3-digit number by a 2-digit number, and there is one more place, which is place value, that is added. So when we do the sum, let me explain to you. Okay, so now let's begin. We have page 78. We are going to do the sums on page 78, that is question number 1, multiply. Okay, you have to do it very nicely and attentively, properly, because if any smaller mistake, the sum goes wrong. And very important, I hope everyone has revised the tables. Yes, I have sent 2 tables, that is tables of 17 and 18. Okay, and then after some later I'll send the tables of 19 and 20. Okay, now students, let us solve these sums. Number 1 is 125 multiplied by 52. Now we have to arrange them vertically. So this is how we are going to arrange the sum. Okay, so let us arrange them, because it is a 3-digit sum. Yes, now when you write in a 3-digit manner, now let us see what happens and why that 10,000's place, what is the importance over here. Okay, so now let's begin. What is the first thing you have to do? Now we have to arrange the number. So now when we write 125, so 1 comes under the hundreds column, 2 comes in the tens column, and 5 in the units column. Now it is given, there was one sum over here, one example which is given over here, that the students are asking Tai that we can also multiply 3-digit by 3-digit number, 3-digit by 2-digit, 3-digit by 1-digit, right? Similarly, we can see here, Nandu says, now it's over here on page number 77, there's a conversation. Sonu, we can use the vertical arrangement to multiply 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers, can't we? So Tai says, yes, in fact, we can use this method to multiply any number by any number, no matter how many digits they have. Okay, children, keep in mind. Okay, whenever you multiply, you can multiply many numbers. Okay, any number by any number, how many digits. And let me show you one example, and watch carefully and tell me whether you have understood or not. So then I understood. Now see, Nandu, this is one sum over here, that is 709 multiplied by 46. So Nandu says, Tai, I understood the entire multiplication. The only new part is that we had to make a place for 10,000s because the number has increased. When it came to 709 multiplied by 46. So as you all do the sum, as you write the answer, the product has increased. So see, just like the last example, when multiplying by 4 tens, we put a 0 in the units column because 4 tens means 40. So we take the whole tens. We don't take only 4 whole tens, that is 40. So the 0 comes here. Followed, children? And we make a new place, because see, when we say 9 6 are 54. So 5 gets carried over in the tens column. Then 6 zeros are 0 plus that carried over 10 is, so we get it 5. 7 6 are 42. Right? This is thousands column. Now I already told you that 40, it's taken as whole 10. So we write here 0 first only. And now we multiply 709 multiply by 4. So 4 9s are, in the units column we have 9. 9 4s are 36. 3 gets carried over. Then 4 zeros are 0. 0 plus 3, 3. 7 4s are 28. Now 8. 28,000 meaning 2 10,000 and 8,000. Okay. So we have another place here for the 10,000s. That is the 10,000s place. And we add these two products. Correct? We wrote the answer, right? 709 multiplied by 6 and 709 multiplied by 4. And what is the answer? Yes. Now this Salma has a doubt. Tai, I have a doubt. Tai, it is good to have questions in your mind and to ask them. Go ahead, Salma. Just like this, we can multiply 3-digit or 4-digit numbers by 3-digit numbers. However, carrying over numbers will become more and more difficult. Yes, very true. And you have to understand which number is carried over, which has to be again added. This is also important. So while doing the sums, I will explain. Just like this, we can multiply, and Tai says yes. The solution to this is to avoid writing the carried over numbers in the table. See, but if you don't carry over these numbers and you don't write those carried over numbers in the table, again you will forget. You will forget to add those numbers. You cannot keep everything in your mind. But yes, instead keep the number in your mind and forget it as soon as you have added it. So once you added this 5 plus 5, this is done. But instead repeat this with the next number to be carried over. So it's here 3. And once you make this a habit, you need to write less and you can work faster. But children, all this column is made for the numbers only to be carried over. So carried over numbers you can write. You can write it with a pencil. Later on, once you get use of it, you may just remember them. Keep a reminder in your, you keep it in your mind. Okay. So multiply. Now there's one more. Yeah. But the numbers are kept in mind. So this was one more. Your problem sum, multiplication, that is 453 multiplied by 78. And then the answer that you get is 35,334. Now let's do the first sum, that is 125 multiplied by 52. Let us do it. We are not going to waste our time, but do the sum. Yes, let us begin. Now, we wrote here 125 because hundreds, no? So 1 hundreds, 2 tens, 5 units multiplied by 5 tens and 2 units, right? So now we have, first we are going to multiply the number in the units column, that is 2 units multiplied by 2 units. 125 or 125 multiplied by 2. 5 2s are 10. So 1 gets carried over. Okay. You have to keep this one in mind in case you don't write over here. But now you write because you're practicing. Okay. This is just, you have just begun with this 3-digit, 2-digit multiplication. It will take little time. Okay. So, but it's better that you write it in the table. You don't keep it in mind. You write it in the table. You can write with a pencil also or a pen. Now, 2 multiplied by 2 tens. 2 2s are 4. 4 tens and 1 carried over tens is 5. So, we write here 5. Correct, students? 2 1s are 2 into 100. That's 2. 200, no? So, what is your 125? 125 multiplied by 2 is 250. Now, we know that we have to multiply 5 tens. That is 50. So, we bring down that whole tens. That is 0. Correct? 5 5s are 25. Correct? 5 5s are 25. 2 gets, it's 25. Meaning 5 tens and 2 hundreds. So 2 gets carried over. Don't get confused that you have to put the 2 here. 2 is hundreds. 200, that is 2 hundreds and 5 tens. 25, right? So now let us do the units. 2 1s are 2 and plus 1. 5 5s are, we finished with 25. Then now let us do this. 2 is carried over, correct? Now 5 2s are, yes, 5 2s are, that is 2 tens multiplied by 5 tens. 5 2s are 10 and the carried over 2 hundreds is 12. So what we write here? We write here 2, correct? 2 hundreds and 1 gets carried over, 1000. Okay. Now let us do the next part. This is, now we have to multiply by, this is over, right? 5 ones are 5 and plus 1 is 6, correct? And we add. So when we add, we draw a line. Okay, 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5, 10. Okay, 1 gets carried over. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1, 5. And 6 is alone. So we write it as it is. Okay, so what is your first answer? Yes, that is 6,500. Let us go to the next sum. Yes, that is 234 multiplied by 65. Okay, now you have to be very careful. First, let us multiply the units place. That is 234 multiplied by 5 units. 5 fours are 20. So we carry over 2. Correct? 5 threes are 15. Plus 2 tens carried over 16, 17. Correct? 1 gets carried over hundreds place. Yes. 5 twos are 10. Plus 1, 11. So we write here 11 hundreds means 1,100. Correct? So we get 1. Okay. Now what we have to do? Now we have to multiply by 6 tens. That is 60. So we write that 0 here. First only we write it down. Now 6 fours are 24. Right? 6 fours are 24. 2 gets carried over. This is, now this 2, you don't have to worry about this 2. You can just put a cross over here because you have already added in the, with the 5 threes are 15 and plus 2 tens. We have already added this 2. So don't worry about this 2. Now we'll do this kind of, this particular number. Now 6 threes are 18. 18, 19, 20. So we write here 0 and we add here one more 2. 6 twos are 12. 12 plus 2, 13, 14. You don't take this carried over 1 because which was earlier we have already calculated with 5 units. Right? When you multiplied by 5. So 6 twos are 12 and plus 2 hundreds were carried over 13, 14. So we write here, it comes as 14 thousands, meaning 10,000. So we have this 10,000s place. It is 10,000, so 14,040. And we add this products. So when we add this products, what answer do we get? 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 4, 11. 1 is 1 you get carried over here, right? You carry over that 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 0, again 2. 1 plus 4, 5. And this one is alone, so we just write it as it is. So it is 15,210. Answer 15,210. Good. Now let us do some